Alright, so we weren't going to do this. It is Saturday now. We got about 2 hours left of the day. I was going to go to Virginia. That didn't happen. Guy didn't want to take a certified check. So I had a customer drop this off for me. And I wasn't going to use it because it voids my warranty on the trans. But you're supposed to change the fluid on the first 1,000 miles after you get the trans in. And it's been like 6,000 miles now. So we're going to throw this deep pan. I just went and got a whole case of fluid, new filter, new everything. So I'm gonna have Christian throw everything on for me. We have new gasket, new fluid, 200 bucks right there. Get this thing on the jack stand, pop the hood just so we have some light, get the heat going. All right, so we caught it in time. They gave us the wrong filter, so we went back and got the correct one. Like I was saying earlier, I wasn't gonna do this today, but it was definitely, we just need to do it. Customer dropped it off. We have time today. Might as well take advantage of that time. I'm gonna be pulling all of this today, and we'll see how that comes out. You guys can see we've already upgraded like all of the piping and whatnot. So we're gonna paint this and clean some stuff up in here, and like, this is ugly, so. Here's after about 6,000 miles. A little bit of metal on it, nothing out of the ordinary. That's pretty good. Fluid's still red. I didn't overheat it at all. It looks good. I think this gasket's a reusable one, so I'll probably end up just reusing that one. It's got the O-ring down through the center, so fuck it, clean it up. All right, got the first coat. Not gonna be pretty, but probably throw whatever I have left on the can and then slap that in the front. I'm gonna work on getting those a little bit better in the middle. The main thing is the side post though. We'll see how she comes out. We're not doing the back either because apparently neither does the factory. Factory painted the front black and then left the back. All right, here's where we're at. Installing spacer, and it sucks because you never know which one of those is gonna drip, but we are basically voiding the warranty on my $5,000 transmission. So we got the screws down. We're putting Loctite on those. Put that up in. Use the old seal. And then, other than that, fill her up and check it out. I was going to film the inside of the trans. You beat me to it. But that pan looks like shit. It's a little dirty. It'll be alright. Alright, intercooler is done. He's just buttoning up the trans. We're going to get the bolts tightened. Torque everything down. I'm going to close the hood just to see what this looks like. Yeah. Something you'll never see. It just had to be done. Like, you can just barely see it behind the grill and then down in there. I mean, it's dark in here, so we'll see what it looks like on the outside. But when we do the traction bars, they're going to be the same color. It's going to be the only two pieces on the truck that are that color. I like some factory pieces. Keep in mind, this is going to be a temporary. This whole thing's going to get replaced with a new one, and then I'd like to do, you know, the cover that goes over it, because unfortunately you can see what happens. And this was before me. So it's just one of those, like, and this is just normal. So all the Freon has been drained out. My AC stopped working one day anyway. So what we're going to do is we'll just get a nice new one and go from there. Everything else is the same. I'm not upgrading the radiator or any of that stuff. The radiator upgrade, there's really no point in doing that, in my opinion, because these work good. All right, here's where we're at. So basically doing that pan, yes, they told me any modifications that we do voids the warranty. So we got a nice used deep dish pan, no leaks. We are gonna address that seal leak there eventually, but that and the intercooler in the front, that looks really good. See, I can see it in person, but you really can't see it on camera. You gotta really zoom in, but there you go. Get that condenser replaced. So there you go. Cheap pan, voids warranty. Alright guys, it's Sunday now after we got the trans pan installed. Oh man, you guys can see that. So today we're gonna be tackling this guy right here. So I've been having the itch to do a nice welding project. So we're gonna grind all this down, see where we're at, probably plate this. The crack's not as bad as I thought it was, but we do have a crack that goes down the side. So we're gonna try to situate that a while. You can see it goes down the bottom here and just So we're gonna grind all that down, see where the fresh metal starts, cut any of the rust out, and then we're gonna make a nice plate. We have either some of this or some of this. This will be overkill, so we'll probably just end up using that. But we're gonna start taking into that and showing you guys kind of what I can do, because like I might be new to the stick welder, but it's coming to me a lot easier than say the MIG welder was in the beginning. So I'm hoping to use the stick because we are kind of low on gas. I don't feel like going and getting more, so I'm gonna attempt to do this with a... All right, we just got back from the hobo freight, so I can stop catching myself on damn fire. We got the leather sleeves, we got new gloves because I don't know what happened to my last pair. I got 2 pairs of safety glasses. If you guys can see right there, this is why you need safety glasses. Piece of slag came back and hit me, so I got some discs, new grinding discs. I do have plenty, a couple of them left, but I'd like to get some new ones. I went and got one of these. These are gonna be nice. And then this stuff I've already had. I just needed to get it out. So we're gonna use this to do the initial cleanup, and then we will start with either a flap disc or a grinding disc when we get under there. So we will see what it looks like. All right, so I told you guys I've gone down this frame. I've done the whole tappy thing with the hammer, you know, like that's all solid. But right here, you guys can see just how thin that is. Luckily, it's still all connected up here, so we will end up having to reinforce this section. I don't plan on having this truck forever, per se. I'm gonna start cutting out a lot of this metal here and working with and seeing what we have. So I'm gonna take my little disc and just cut out here, cut out the section we need to. That way we don't have any rust, vacuum out whatever we need. I understand the inside of the frame's probably not perfect, but it's still thick. You guys can kind of see in there. So this is one of those spots that the Dodges like to rot. So let's get all that cut out. All right, so here's about what I've cut out. Before I show you guys, I'm gonna surprise you. So we got that, a bunch of that, and that. And here is where we are left off. So we're gonna clean up those edges. There's nothing I can do about that. Like, it is what it is. It is a northern truck. You guys will be surprised to find out that most of y'all's frames are about the same, but as long as the outside, they're all gonna rust from the inside out. That's just common. So what I did was I took the vacuum and I put it up in here and I just beat the hell out of the frame inside out. I'm gonna keep doing that until I can suck as much of this out as possible, and then we'll come up here and clean up all the edges and whatnot and start from scratch. There's nothing you're gonna be able to, unless you cut this whole frame out and replace it. It is what it is. This frame probably has, if I had to guess, maybe another 10 years on it, and then at that point it's pretty much gone. I don't plan on having the truck forever. Like, I do plan on running 3rd gens for a long time, but what I would end up doing is just taking everything from this truck and just putting it to the next one. That's not that complicated. I will try to find a southern truck next time, but you know, it is what it is. You just got to deal with the cards you're dealt. All right, made $100 for coming in on a Sunday. You hear that Duramax outside. Thing sounds nice. So I'll show you guys where I got before I got interrupted over there. No biggie, easy money. So, oh, I hear him. I hear a jet taking off. But we are gonna end up having to use the bigger C channel, so I'm gonna cut some of that out. We're gonna stick weld it. I might pull Bertha out to stick weld it, I don't know, or I might open the door. I don't wanna gas it out in here with that welder, plus the thing's loud as shit. You guys hear it? Friggin' newer Duramax on a 5-inch straight pipe. Thing sounds beautiful. But now I'll show you guys where we're at. Yeah, so there's where we got. I do have a deburring tool and whatnot, so that's not too bad. And then I'm not sure. We'll see how far back I want to get it. There you go. Duramax stuff. All right. So here's where we're at. I got a nice piece made. It fits perfectly bottom and top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of this cut out, a nice square, and then we're going to weld this as a square. Put a nice little bevel in that, and start welding it. So I'm gonna get that trimmed out and weld this together, and I'll show you guys the finished product. I'm gonna clean all this out too, don't worry about that. But we got the top done. All right, so we have our 2 pieces cut. Since this channel is a little bit shorter, what we're gonna do, we're gonna plop it pretty much like that. And then we've already marked it outside, up. We're gonna plop it like that. So we're gonna try, I'm gonna go get these tacked. Pretty much in that orientation. I'm gonna do a nice fat bead on the inside, bevel it on the out. Do the same thing. I'm gonna have to clean the metal a little bit more, but that's pretty much how it's gonna look. I'm gonna trace it out and then we'll do a nice clean. And we'll lay a fat, probably do some 70-18, because that way it has some flex to it and it has some give, and it won't break. All right, several little bits later, this is what we came up with. You can see, so there was small gap here, big gap down here, so I've had to fill in. I put a little line here where I'm gonna fill in with some 70-18. Now, granted, this thing's gonna be overkill, but I want it to look good for what it is. I don't wanna throw something up there that has holes or this and that in it. I've just been using 70-18 rod, a 3/32, and I'm gonna fill in one more cap here, grind it down so this looks all flush. There's no reason to show welds on that shit. I mean, my first welds, maybe I'll just do a pass and I'll show you guys what they look like. But I'm gonna go test fit this and make sure everything's good. I test fitted it with one small tack here, and then I've got the gap, so we're gonna see. All right, so there's what she kind of looks like. You can see this section of the frame is a little bit thicker than this. So see how it's nice and flush. And then this side, I'll just use a C-clamp to pull it that way. I'll probably end up filling in, I didn't realize I could do that. I'm gonna fill in some weld on the inside of that too, just, you know, get a little bit more practice in. So we're doing all right. Stick is definitely a lot easier to learn. Stick is definitely a lot easier to learn than MIG, I'll tell you that. MIG was kind of like a pain in the ass. See, on MIG, you have to worry about the heat and the wire speed. With stick, you just worry about the heat, and whatever stick, you know, you choose to use, it doesn't really matter. Everything is just preference with this. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good or shit your welds are. Somebody is gonna shit on your welds. So that's the cool thing about stick and, well, welding in general. No matter how good you are, people are gonna talk shit. So let's throw a fat bead down there, grind her down, make her look pretty. The downside of this machine is it's very easy to stick a rod. You can see a little bit of a fucked up start, but I think we did all right the whole way down. I'm gonna grind that down, make it look like a flat plate. All right, here's where we're at. That's the bottom weld down there. It sucks when you're trying to fill a gap. Camera makes it look like shit. Sucks when you're trying to fill a gap because, like, up top, mostly welding is what I'm realizing is it's mainly the prep work. So all that's done. We're gonna get cleaned up on the inside there, see how she looks. Get rid of any and all of the slag. Grind down each corner so that we can have a good surface to weld to. Go measure. I took that little section of exhaust out. Grind a little bit more right there. Besides that, she's in place. Well, I was gonna swap over to 220, use the MIG gun for the rest of it because I don't have much experience uphill, downhill. Anything straight across I seem to be pretty good at. Anything uphill, downhill, still haven't figured that out. I was trying to uphill with the 70-18. It's not happy with it, but for some reason our 220 isn't working. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I have the welder plugged in and turned on, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait till he gets here to fix that, but we ain't got shit. And I would have rather MIG'd this, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some beads on the top and on the bottom, and then when I can get the MIG welder going again, then I'm gonna come back and do the sides so I can make it look nice. Because right now, I'm not gonna show you, but I do get a little bit of weld spatter and I don't like that, and I wanna seal it off and everything. I've already put some rust inhibitor, sprayed it inside, so let's just break the stick welder back out, I guess. All right, did what I could. We got everything all together. So I did do a lot of passes, and I'm finding that the downhill on the 70-18 works so much better. So I kind of fucked up over here where I was trying to do uphill. So I had to go through and fix a mistake of mine. So keep in mind, this is on my truck. We also did the Portuguese powder coat where we spray it while it's still hot. So this should work pretty damn well. So we filled in the side holes and everything. Like I said, I wanted to do this with Meg. I would have done this with Meg, but somebody over there didn't want to cooperate. So I did it with stick. This is my 3rd time stick welding. So, I mean, it's pretty solid for what it is. I mean, some of the welds, you guys can see there. And then up here, I had to do a little bit of an overlappage. So, like, they're not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. So if anybody wants pretty, it's not going to be this project. I did kind of have to learn that 7018. All right, so she is done. I put the exhaust back on. I took the exhaust off to get all that. Made it just that much easier. But we now have no more speed holes in the frame. So you guys can quit giving me shit about that. We will be, I'm hoping, January, tomorrow, sometime this month, to take this to the body shop. I'm looking for a bed. I'm looking for some doors. And I'm pretty sure we found them all, but I don't know 100%. So basically, we're just going to have the factory fenders painted, the factory hood painted, and the cab painted. The hood can go fuck itself, and the bumper can also go fuck itself because the bumper's getting sold. I already have a buyer for that. I'm just waiting. Oh, I got to put the battery. I guess it helps to put the battery terminals back on, huh? But so we're going to be pulling this off, and we're going to be building a bumper. I would like to do like a flat style bumper. So it's going to be, this is how long it's going to be. So I just need to get some measurements, but it's going to go basically to that. And then we'll have to put the Anderson plug and the grid heater plug over here. We'll have to put that into the new bumper. So pretty much I'm going to build it out of like square tubing. And then we're going to make it flat with some, I don't know if I have any here, but basically just make, you know, it's just going to be a flat bumper. I'll post a picture like the tow truck bumpers, but like a lower profile. So, other than that, going to put the battery terminals on, and this does it for Bertha. I did notice that the truck is running a little bit smoother with the fluid change, so I don't know if it was just because we were low on fluid. Well, we weren't low on fluid, but I don't know if it's just because it was breaking fluid or what, but we're going to pop all this stuff back on, go fix my radio settings, and we are done for the day. I got to kill another hour yet. All right, guys, go ahead and give me shit for my first time uphill and downhill welding. There you go. Definitely a lot stronger than what it was, though. 7018, I put plenty of passes over it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys need any services, cpstevemiller.com.